I remember that day like it was etched into my soul with a hot iron. It was a rainy Tuesday in late fall. The kind where the sky weeps endlessly, mirroring the storm inside you. I was just 17, barely out of high school, standing on the porch of the house I'd called home my whole life. My mother's face was twisted in rage, her eyes cold as steel, screaming words that cut deeper than any knife. "You're nothing but a burden." My stepfather loomed behind her, arms crossed, nodding like he'd won some sick victory. They shoved a trash bag at me filled with a few crumpled clothes, an old toothbrush, and whatever scraps they deemed worthless enough to let me keep. In my pocket, $12. That's all. 12 measly dollars to face the world. I begged, tears streaming down my face. "Please, Mom, where will I go? I have nothing." But the door slammed shut, the lock clicking like the final nail in my coffin. I stood there, rain soaking me to the bone, trash bag slipping from my numb fingers. How had it come to this? The fights had escalated. Sure, my rebellion against their control. The constant belittling, but this. Abandoned like garbage. That moment, my heart shattered into a million pieces. And I whispered to the storm, "I'll show you. I'll survive this hell." The streets welcomed me with open arms. But they were arms of thorns. That first night, I wandered aimlessly through the city, the neon lights blurring through my tears. $12 bought me a soggy burger and a bus ride to nowhere. I ended up in a park, huddling under a bench as the rain pounded relentlessly. Every shadow seemed like a predator, every rustle a threat. Was that footsteps, a mugger, or just my imagination running wild with fear? I clutched that trash bag like a lifeline, my only possession in a world that suddenly felt too big, too cruel. Morning came, grey and unforgiving, and hunger gnawed at my insides like a beast. I scavenged dumpsters behind fast food joints, picking at half-eaten fries, my stomach churning with shame. This can't be my life, I thought, wiping grime from my face. But it was. Days blurred into weeks. I slept in alleys, avoided the cops who eyed me like a stray dog. One night, a group of rough-looking guys cornered me, hearts pounding. I ran, trash bag flapping behind me, lungs burning. I hid in an abandoned warehouse, sobbing quietly. Why me? What had I done to deserve this exile? The questions haunted me, fueling a fire deep within a determination to rise from these ashes, no matter the cost. Fate, or maybe sheer desperation, led me to a shelter downtown. It was a dingy place, smells of unwashed bodies and despair thick in the air. The lady at the desk, Mrs. Ramirez, looked at me with pitying eyes. "Kid, you look like you've been through hell," she said, handing me a form. I poured out my story between sobs, the words tumbling like a dam breaking. She nodded. No judgment, just quiet understanding. That shelter became my fragile sanctuary. I got a cot, 3 meals a day if you could call the watery super meal, and a chance to breathe. But survival demanded more. I pounded pavements for jobs. Any job. Too young, they said. No experience. Rejection after rejection. Each one a slap to my fading hope. Finally, a greasy diner hired me as a dishwasher minimum wage. Back-breaking hours. My hands blistered from scalding water. My back ached from bending over sinks piled high with filth. But every paycheck was a victory. A step away from the gutter. I saved every penny. Dreaming of a real life. Nights, I'd lie awake, staring at the bunk above me, replaying the betrayal. My siblings, did they miss me? Or were they relieved? The uncertainty twisted like a knife. Little did I know. This was just the beginning of my odyssey. A path riddled with pitfalls that would test my very soul. One fateful evening, as I scrubbed pots until my fingers bled, a customer left a newspaper behind. Flipping through it absently, an ad caught my eye. Scholarship for at-risk youth, earn your GED and beyond. My heart raced. Could this be my ticket out? With trembling hands, I applied, pouring my pain into the essay. Thrown out with nothing but a trash bag and $12. I've learned that rock bottom is just a foundation. Weeks of agonizing wait followed. Every mail check was a suspenseful ritual. Would today be the day? Finally, the letter arrived. I accepted. Who are you kidding? You're just trash. But I pushed on, fueled by that burning rage. Friends at the shelter cheered me. But envy simmered too. Some fell back into the streets. Overdoses claiming lives like whispers in the dark. Would I be next? The suspense of survival hung over me. A constant shadow. Graduation day dawned bright. A stark contrast to my stormy past. Cap and gown felt foreign on my frame. But as I walked that stage, diploma in hand, a raw built inside me. ID done it, GED in pocket. Doors cracking open. From there, community college beckoned on a partial scholarship. I majored in business. Nights blurring into days of lectures and part-time gigs. Waiting tables. Delivering pizzas, anything to pay the rent on my tiny, roach-infested apartment. It was mine, though no more shelters. But loneliness gnawed deeper. Holidays came and went. I'd scroll through old photos on a borrowed phone. Seeing my family's faces. Had they forgotten me? Rumors trickled in from distant cousins. Mom remarried again. Siblings thriving. Jealousy and hurt warred within. One night, a breakdown hit, curled on the floor. Sobbing, why didn't you love me enough? But from that abyss, resolve hardened. I'd build an empire. Make them regret every slammed door. Little twists fate through. A professor noticed my drive. Mentored me. You've got fire, kid, he said. That mentorship, priceless. It led to internships. Connections weaving a net under my feet. The climb intensified. Post-college, I landed an entry-level job at a startup tech world. Cutthroat and glittering. Long hours, but I thrived. Ideas flowing like adrenaline. Promotions came swiftly. My story became legend in office whispers. The kid who started with nothing. But success bred enemies, colleagues jealous. Sabotaging projects. One suspenseful barred meeting. My big pitch hung in the balance. Heart hammering. I presented. Sweat beading. Success first, real car. Then a condo overlooking the city that once tried to swallow me. Vacations to beaches I'd only dreamed of. Yet, emptiness lingered. Therapy sessions unpacked the trauma, abandonment issues surfacing in failed relationships. You're afraid to let anyone in, the counselor said. True. Every date ended in paranoia. Would they leave like my family? Emotional walls high. I poured into work. Then, the breakthrough my own company. A app revolutionizing something niche, details don't matter. But it exploded. Millions rolled in. Forbes features. TAD talks. I was the rags to riches poster child. But as fame grew, so did the ghosts. Social media buzzed with my story. Anonymized at first. Inevitably, family found out. It started with a message. Facebook, of all places. From my sister. Hey, it's me. Saw your article. Proud of you. My blood ran cold. Proud. After years of silence, I stared at the screen. Emotions swirling: anger, longing, suspicion. Was this genuine? Or a ploy? Days later, my brother emailing apologies. We miss you. Mom's call came next. Voice quivering. Sweetie, can we talk? Sweetie. The word burned. I agreed to meet. Heart a drumbeat of suspense. Coffee shop. Neutral ground. They arrived mom-aged. Stepdad sheepish. Siblings awkward. Tears flowed immediately. We were wrong. Mom choked. Times were tough. But that's no excuse. Stories spilled financial woes back then. My troublesome behavior a scapegoat. They wanted reconciliation. To be family again. But as they spoke, red flags waved. Subtle hints. Your success is amazing. Maybe you could help with bills. Oh, there it was. The motive. My stomach twisted. Flashbacks assaulted me: the rain, the hunger, the loneliness. You threw me out like trash. I exploded. Voice rising. The cafe hushed. Suspense thickened. Would I forgive? Or walk away? The confrontation escalated. Stepdad defended. We did what we had to. Rage boiled over. What you had to. I was a child, pity mixed with betrayal. I stormed out. But doubt crept in. Nights of torment followed. Should I let them back? Therapy urged caution. Then, a twist: a lawyer's letter. Inheritance. No, mom's health failing. Debts mounting. They needed me. Financially. The audacity, the pain. The triumphs born from their rejection. Do you want back in? Prove it. It's no money. Just love. Tears. Hugs. Tentative bridges. But trust. Fragile. Months passed. Therapy together. Slow healing. Twists emerged: hidden letters ID sent as a teen. Intercepted by stepdad. Betrayal deepened. Then forgiveness bloomed. Today, we're mending: holidays shared. But boundaries firm. My story. A testament from $12 and a trash bag to unbreakable. If you're out there, thrown away, know this: your fire can light the world. Rise, darlings, rise. But let's rewind a bit. Because the journey wasn't linear, oh no. It was a roller coaster of near misses and heart-stopping moments that could fill hours. Remember that first job at the diner? There was this one shift where the owner, a grizzled old man named Hank, caught me napping in the back after a double. I thought it was over. Fired. Back to the streets. Suspense hung heavy as he stared me down. Kid, You look like death warmed over. What's your story? I spilled it all. Voice cracking. Instead of pink slip. He offered extra hours and a couch in his office for nights. Kindness from a stranger, it saved me. But also taught wariness. Not everyone was pure later. A friend from the shelter stole my savings. $200 painstakingly scraped. Devastated, I hunted him down in the underbelly of the city. Heart pounding in dark alleys. Confrontation. Tense. Words flying. But I got it back minus the trust. That incident hardened me. Made me savvy. College brought more drama, a roommate who partied too hard. Dragging me into chaos. One night. Police raid, wrong place. Wrong time. Cuffed. Terrified. This is it. Dreams shattered. But innocence proved. Released with a warning. Adrenaline surged, I cut ties. Focused, laser sharp. Success in business. Not without sabotage. My first big deal at the startup, a rival colleague leaked my ideas. Boardrooms showdown. Accusations flying. Prove it, investors pulling out last minute. Funding crisis. Sleepless nights. Pacing. Will it crumble? A Hail Mary pitched to a venture capitalist, nerves electric. Presentation flawless. Funded app went viral. Users flooding in. Media frenzy interviews where I skirted family details. But leaks happened. Paparazzi at my door. Digging dirt. Suspense of privacy invasion. Would my past unravel everything? I controlled the narrative. Turning pain into power. Philanthropy became my outlet, shelters funded in my name. Scholarships for kids like me. Emotional highs, seeing a teen's eyes light up. Mirroring my own transformation. Family's return. Layered with twists. Sister's message wasn't first, anonymous tips hinted they were watching. Stalker vibes. Chilling. The meeting mom's tears seemed real. But stepdad's smirk. Off. Investigations revealed they'd fallen on Hard Times' house, foreclosed. Jobs lost. Desperation drove them. Confrontation dinner turned soap opera, arguments erupting. Secrets spilling. Brother admitted resenting me for escaping. Sister confessed guilt for not speaking up. Mom broke down, revealing her own abusive past, cycle of pain. Empathy flooded. But anger lingered. You almost destroyed me raw. Tearful. Suspense in every revelation. A breakthrough family photo album. Memories stirring. Forgiveness. Not instant. Boundaries, no financial help until trust rebuilt. Months later. A wedding mine. To a partner who saw my scars and loved anyway. Family attended. Tentative joy. But a final twist, stepdad's apology letter. Genuine remorse. Acceptance bloomed. Reflecting now. From my penthouse view. Emotions swirl. That 17-year-old with a trash bag. She's the hero. The struggles forged steel in my veins. If this story resonates, know you're not alone. Fight. Dream. Conquer. The world may throw you out, but you can build your own door. And family. Sometimes, they come crawling back, but you decide if they enter. Stay strong. My friends, your epic awaits. Let's dive deeper into those shelter days. Because they were a crucible of human drama. Mrs. Ramirez wasn't just staff, she became a surrogate mom. Slipping extra food. Words of wisdom. Pain is temporary. Mijo. She'd say. Her accent warm. But dangers lurked, fights breaking out over cots. Theft rampant. One night, a brawl erupted, fists flying. Blood on the floor. I hid. Hearts thundering. Praying not to get caught in crossfire. Police sirens wailed. Chaos ensued. In the aftermath, bonds formed with survivors. Tony, a vet with PTSD, sharing war stories that mirrored my battles. We dreamed big, him of a home, me of fortune. Tragically, Tony overdosed. Weeks later, grief hit like a truck. Why him? Not me, I wailed. That loss propelled me. Applied for that scholarship with renewed fury. Classes intense. A professor challenged me. Prove you're more than your story. I did, acing exams amid exhaustion. Social life sparse. A crush on a classmate led to awkward dates. But vulnerability scared me off. Too broken, I thought. Work anecdotes abound. Diner shifts, eccentric customers. Like the lady who tipped $50, saying, I see potential in you. That money bought books. But horrors too, a robbery one night. Gunman demanding cash. Time slowed. Fear paralyzing. Hand it over, navigating sketchy neighborhoods. Dogs chasing. Tips meager. One delivery to a mansion sparked envy. Someday. Mine. College dorms brought pranks. Parties I avoided. Focusing on grades. Group projects. Nightmares, lazy partners. Me carrying weight. A betrayal friend plagiarized my work. Confrontation heated. Friendship ended. Lessons in trust. Startup life cutthroat. Office politics. Backstabbing. My mentor, Sarah, guided. Navigate sharks. Big project app prototype. Sleepless coding. Bugs haunting. Launch day, servers crash, panic, jealousy from peers. Anonymous email, threats, suspense of who. Ignored. Rose higher. Company founding, bootstrap struggles. Ramen nights again. Pitching investors, rejections galore. One yes changed everything. Growth, explosive hiring team. Global expansion. Challenges, lawsuits from competitors. Media scandals fabricated. Weathered them. Stronger. Personal growth therapy unearthed layers. Abandonment fears manifested in control issues. Relationships, a few flings. One serious ended when she wanted family talk. Not ready, I admitted. Then, meeting Alex kind. Patient. Dates suspenseful, would I open up? Yes. Story shared. Acceptance full. Proposal romantic. Tears. Wedding planning amid family drama. Family reconciliation, ongoing saga. Holidays tense, at first awkward silences. Then laughter. Mom's surgery, I paid discreetly. No strings. Gratitude genuine. Siblings, kids calling me auntie. Heart melting. But vigilant stepdads, slip-ups tested. Forgiveness journey, books read. Meditations. Today. Balanced love with limits. Philanthropy tales, opening shelters. Speeches inspiring. A kid approached. Your story saved me. Emotional peak. Business expansions, mergers. Risks high. A near-bankruptcy scare, investor fraud. Detective work. Recovered. Triumph this narrative. Endless threads. From despair to dominance. Emotions raw. If you've made it this far, you're part of my story now. Dream big. Fight hard. The end. Not yet, more chapters await. Stay tuned. Loves. Expanding on business ventures, the app revolutionized freelance matching. AI-driven. Launch hype, viral marketing. Influencers. User surge millions. Scaling issues, servers down. Customer complaints. Crisis meetings. All-nighters. Resolved. Stocks soared. IPO suspense, market volatile. But success. Billionaire status surreal. Luxuries, private jets. But grounded by past. Charity galas, rubbing elbows with elites. Imposter syndrome lurking. A speech gone wrong, nerves. Stumble recovered with humor.